So you've decided to move abroad. Yay! Now for the exciting yet slightly daunting part of deciding what to pack and how to pack. If you need some help, keep watching because I'm going to give you my 25 best tips on how you can prep to pack for your move abroad. Welcome back to the She Hit Refresh YouTube channel. And if you're new here, my name is Cepee, rhymes with Peppy from SheHitRefresh.com. And I help women age 30 and over break free from a life of routine to move abroad or travel the world long term. And you know what? This is exactly what I did back in 2015 when I moved from Texas to Spain at 35 years old. I am now 42. Yes, it's been 7 years and I'm still in Spain living my best life. And if you're here, you're probably looking to do something similar, so I want to thank you so much for stopping by. On this channel, I talk about moving abroad specifically for US citizens, and I would love to invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any future move abroad content. So when it comes to moving abroad, it's really important to understand that you simply can't take everything you own with you. Moving and shipping items abroad is not only a hassle, it can be really expensive. So your goal should be to pack as light as possible, and you definitely should downsize and declutter before you even start packing. If you need help with that, check out my video on how to downsize and declutter before moving abroad. But before we get into this packing list and my top 25 tips, I just want to give my weekly shout out. This week's shout out goes to Alex, who commented on my video 11 things to ask yourself before moving abroad for love. And Alex says, as someone who moved abroad for love, the making friends part really rang true for me. Moving to my boyfriend's home country meant moving somewhere with a built-in support system of family and friends. But it's so important to create your own community. Having a sense of autonomy in my new country was crucial to finding my own happiness, which only strengthened the relationship in the end. Fun fact, I met one of my best friends here after she slid into my DM saying, hey, I moved here for my BF and I am in desperate need of girl time. Want to grab a coffee? Making friends abroad often involves shamelessly putting yourself out there. So true. Thank you so much, Alex, for commenting. And if anyone out there is interested in getting a shout out, just drop a comment or question below and you never know, you might be the next one that I choose. All right, without any further ado, let's jump into my 25 essential packing tips for moving abroad. So I just mentioned this, and number one is downsize, downsize, downsize. Chances are that you have accumulated more things than you think over the years. And this is the perfect time in your transition to start getting rid of things or put them in storage, give them away, whatever you need to do, because things like furniture, bedding, kitchen items, and so much more are not necessary items to take with you when you move abroad. You can buy all of those once you land in your new home country. And getting rid of stuff is also a great way to make a little cash when you're making your move. You can place your stuff on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or even Nextdoor to sell your items. Tip number 2 is to research everything. It's important to remember that vacationing and living abroad are two different scenarios. Do your research on everything from cost of living, the weather, best neighborhoods to live in, accommodation, accessibility, food, etc. This will help you get a better idea of what you need to take and what you need to prepare for before you move. Tip number 3 is to make a checklist. So just like making a checklist for the grocery store prevents you from buying things you don't need, making a checklist when you're moving abroad helps you from overpacking. So you're actually going to need to take less than you think because most things can be purchased abroad. Make a checklist of all the practical items that you have to take with you and also those non-essentials that you want to take because they're sentimental. And if you need help, I've created a free downloadable checklist for you. I'll drop the link below. Tip number 4 is to lay out all of your clothes. So let me explain. When you're packing to move abroad, what you want to do is lay out all the clothes that you think you want to take. And you need to ask yourself these 3 questions. How many times have I worn this in the last year? Is it practical? And do I prefer this to another piece that's similar? If your answer is no to any of these questions, do not pack it. It's best to donate it, or if you really want to keep it, leave it with a friend or put it in storage. Also, when you're moving, keep in mind the country's fashion style where you're moving to. For example, in Europe, people tend to dress up more on a daily basis. All that athleisure is very American. So keep in mind to bring some more stylish clothes, especially if you're moving to Europe. Pull out those scars that you've never had a chance or the guts to wear. Tip number 5 is to keep it as light as possible. So I can't stress this enough, the lighter you go, the easier your trip will be. You don't want to carry more than you can physically handle in one trip. As I mentioned before, you've probably accumulated a lot of things over the years, so you just want to minimize and take as little as possible. With the things that you do want to keep, again, you can donate, give them to a friend, you can sell, you can throw them away if they're trash, or you can put them in storage. Tip number 6 is to get a good backpack. Don't underestimate a solid essential backpack. So in addition to your luggage that you'll be checking in, I suggest taking a backpack with you. And a hiking backpack is a great investment. One that can last for years and will be an essential in your move abroad. You can use this again after you move abroad on all of your trips. Tip number 7 is to roll your clothes. Rolling your clothes is a well-known trick to save you space and keep your suitcase organized. The tighter you can roll, the better. Tip number 8 are that space bags are your friend. So space bags can be vacuum sealed or not. I suggest you purchase some that do not require the use of a vacuum. So these bags will save you even more space, and all you have to do is kneel on them to let that extra air out and then zip them closed. You'll find that you can almost fit double in one space bag than if you just packed normally. Number 9 is to pack by outfit. So along with laying out your clothes, sorting and packing them by outfit will save lots of time and maintain organization within your suitcase. This method also makes it easier when trying to find specific items or outfits. Tip number 10 is to use and label packing cubes. I am a huge fan of packing cubes, and packing cubes are not only a sure way to save space, but it also keeps everything organized. Packing cubes are ideal to use in any kind of bag. You can use it in a backpack, in a suitcase, and I'll even drop a link below to my favorite packing cubes. Tip number 11 is to have a small first aid kit. There are a few things worse in life than feeling ill when you're moving or traveling. Make sure you have a quick get-well kit prepared with essentials like Pepto-Bismol, Dramamine, bandages, ibuprofen, and hygienic wipes. Number 12, leave no empty space. Now this tip may seem obvious, but it's actually often overlooked. So leave no empty space in your suitcase by putting rolled up t-shirts into your shoes, into your boots, and really just Tetris your way throughout your suitcase. Number 13 is weight distribution. So make sure to distribute the weight of all your bags. Your backpacks, your suitcase, your duffel bags, of course, depending on the size, should be roughly a similar weight. And this is because an uneven distribution can make moving luggage a little bit difficult and could potentially cause damage. All right, we're more than halfway through the list. Tip number 14 is to put your essentials in your carry-on or personal item. So keep those essentials on you when you're traveling. Things like travel documents, medicines, toiletries, keep those on you when you board the plane. Because if your checked luggage gets lost or delayed for some reason, you don't have to worry because you'll have all of your essentials on you. Tip number 15, same thing goes with electronics. Keep those on you in your personal item or your carry-on. So of course, you want to keep your electronics with you because not only are they expensive, but they can be difficult to replace. So your phone, your iPad, your Kindle, laptop, camera, and all of their chargers and cables should be placed in your carry-on so you can put them under the seat in front of you or above you in the cabin. And this is just to ensure that they are not lost or damaged. Tip number 16 is to research customs regulations. So depending on your country of destination, you may not be able to bring specific items, and that includes electronics. So just make sure you research those customs regulations beforehand to ensure that you won't have any problems and won't have anything confiscated upon arrival. 17 is to use travel size bottles for liquids. So for liquids, you can bring bottles that are the size of 3.4 ounces. Make sure you do not exceed this limit, otherwise your liquids will be confiscated and thrown away. Now, if you do need to take a larger bottle of liquids, be sure to put that in your check-in luggage. A pro tip is to take that large liquid bottle and put it in a Ziploc bag before putting it in your check-in luggage. Tip number 18 is to place heavy items at the base of your bag. So in general, you should have heavier items at the bottom of your luggage and lighter ones on top. This just makes for easily maneuverable luggage. Tip number 19 is to pack your essentials last. So all essentials like medicines, a change of clothes, travel documents, electronics, all of those you should keep easily accessible in case if you need them. You don't want to spend time digging through your luggage for something that you might need urgently. Tip number 20 is to layer, layer, layer. So along with leaving no empty spaces, it's also important to layer your outfit and layer your items in your bags. So in your bags, you should have shoes at the bottom layered with your packing cubes and space bags, and then layered with clothing that you can fit in every crevice that you can. Tip number 21 is to wear your heaviest items on the plane. This is a good tip to keep your checked luggage under the baggage limit. So by wearing your heaviest items such as coats and boots and even jeans, you can shave off several pounds from your luggage and help avoid paying overweight fees. Tip number 22 is to review your airline's baggage policy. So even before you start packing, it's really important to check your airline's baggage policy according to the ticket that you purchased. Excessive and overweight luggage can get expensive, so it might be worth it to pay for that upgrade if it allows for extra baggage allowance. But sometimes it's just worth it to pay for the extra or excessive luggage separately. So weigh your options and pack accordingly to the weight restrictions. It may also be really helpful to purchase a portable scale so that you know the weight of your luggage before you even get to the airport. Tip number 23 is to check on the different electrical plug outlets and voltage. So just for example, the UK, European Union, and Asia, they all have different outlet plugs, sockets, and voltage than the United States. So just go prepared. You can buy a country-specific adapter or a universal adapter. They're relatively inexpensive to take with you before you go. I'll drop a link below to my favorite one. So in regards to voltage, there are actually two types of voltage around the world. So there's the range of 110 to 127 or the range of 220 to 240 voltage. So this is super important. If you're taking any electronics with you, you're going to want to check the voltage of the country you're moving to and the voltage of your device. If your device voltage falls outside of the range of the country you're moving to, you're going to have to buy a voltage converter as well. And check and see, you can often get a combo adapter converter to just keep it easy. Tip number 24 is to be prepared for diverse climates. So weather and climate are huge factors as to what you're gonna pack and take with you. This is where it's really important to do your research on the country you're moving to. If we just take the example of Spain, people just think that Spain is always sunny and hot, and that couldn't be any further than the truth. So Spain actually has 3 different climates across the country. Whether you're living in the north, the middle, the south, or even on one of the islands, you're gonna be experiencing different types of climate. So yes, while in parts of the country it is sunny and warm most of the year, there are still times in parts of the country where you're gonna need some winter gear. So wherever you're moving to, do your research. And of course, when you're moving abroad, you're also gonna be traveling as well. So come prepared with clothing that you can use in a variety of climates. And last but not least, my favorite tip number 25, is that you can buy most things abroad. So as I mentioned before, please avoid shipping furniture and large items. It's difficult, it's expensive, and often not worth it, and these things may not even fit in your new home. Housing abroad is often smaller than what you're used to in the US, so definitely get rid of those large items before you make your move. Also, when moving abroad, you've probably seen that a lot of apartments come furnished, so you don't need to bring all of those excessive pieces with you. Whew. We did it! Those are my 25 tips on packing for moving abroad. I hope you found them useful. And as I mentioned before, I made a customized free downloadable packing checklist just for you. I'll drop the link for you below. And as always, if you need additional resources, please check out my digital book, I'm Outta Here, An American's Ultimate Visa Guide to Living in Europe, where I go over the 18 easiest countries to move to based on viable visa options. You'll find over 50 visa options and all of their information on their requirements and how to apply. And if you need even more help and would like to work with me, I would love to work with you. I'll drop the links below where you can see all the ways that we can work together. And of course, if you're a woman aged 30 and over, please join my free Facebook group, She Here Refresh, where you'll meet over 10,000 like-minded women, and you'll find tons of resources, information, and inspiration to help you with your move abroad. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any future move abroad content.